Have you ever found yourself lying awake at 3 a.m.? Not just once in a while, but night after night? The house is quiet. The world is still. But your mind, it's racing. You glance over at the clock. 3:14 a.m. again. And you wonder, why can't I sleep like I used to? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your mom, or your dad, or someone you care about deeply. They used to sleep like a rock, remember? Now it's tossing, turning, waking up 5 times a night, then dragging through the day like a zombie. And here's the thing. It's not just about feeling tired. Sleep problems in older adults affect everything. Memory, mood, the immune system, even heart health and dementia risk. It's all connected, and yet, most people think this is just part of aging. That it's normal. That there's nothing you can do. Maybe you've been told to take a pill, or try melatonin, or just relax. But what if I told you? The answer might actually be sitting right in your kitchen? Because what you eat, and when you eat it, could be the secret to falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up actually feeling rested. Not just for one night, but night after night. Naturally, without harsh medications, without side effects, without the fog. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 powerful foods that have been shown to help the body sleep deeply and peacefully, especially as we age. And not only what to eat, but how to eat them to get the best results. Number 6. Most people overlook it completely. And number 2. You probably already have it in your fridge right now. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and stay with me till the end. Because tonight might be the first step toward the best sleep you've had in years. Now before we dive in, do me a favor. Comment the word sleep below if you or someone you love has ever struggled with restless nights. And don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Senior Advice for more science-backed, heart-centered tips on helping you and your loved ones live healthier, happier, and more peaceful lives. Alright, let's get started. Let's start with the first food. And this one might surprise you. It's not a fancy supplement, not some rare herb. It's something simple. Tart cherries. Now, I had a client in her early 70s. Let's call her Margaret. Margaret was tired of being tired. She had tried it all. Warm milk, guided meditation, white noise machines, even over-the-counter sleep pills that left her feeling groggy the next morning. Nothing worked. One day, on a whim, she added tart cherry juice to her evening routine. Not expecting much. Just half a cup after dinner. By the end of the first week, she said something had changed. She wasn't waking up 3-4 times a night. Her joints ached less. She felt more rested. And most importantly, she said, I feel like my body finally knows it's nighttime again. There's a good reason behind her results. Tart cherries are one of the very few natural sources of melatonin, the same hormone your brain produces to tell your body it's time to sleep. As we age, melatonin levels naturally decline. And if you're dealing with inflammation or joint discomfort, like many seniors do, sleep becomes even harder. That's where tart cherries really shine. They're not just rich in melatonin. They also contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe the body from the inside out. Now, you might be thinking, well, can't I just take a melatonin supplement? Good question. But here's the truth. Synthetic melatonin doesn't always work well for older adults. Sometimes, it can even disrupt your natural sleep rhythm. Your body recognizes food better than a pill. That's why something as simple as a small serving of tart cherries can make such a big difference. Here's what you can try. Drink half a cup of tart cherry juice about an hour before bed. Or better yet, eat a small bowl of whole tart cherries, if they're in season or available frozen. Give it a few nights. And just pay attention. See if your body starts to settle easier, and stay asleep longer. But what if you're not a fan of cherries? Or maybe you're just looking for something more refreshing and tropical? Number 2. Let's talk about something green, juicy, and incredibly powerful. Kiwi. There's this lovely older couple I worked with, Jim and Louise. Every night after dinner, they'd split a couple of kiwis and sit by the window watching the sun go down. They started calling it their green sleep pill. At first, it was just a relaxing ritual. But soon, they noticed something deeper. They were falling asleep faster, waking up fewer times at night, and Louise even said she started remembering her dreams again. Kiwis might look small and unassuming, but they're packed with sleep-friendly nutrients. They contain serotonin, which helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. They're full of antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress, something that tends to build up more as we age. And they've got folate, a vitamin that supports brain function and mood, especially important for seniors. Now here's the interesting part. Most people think of kiwi as just a tangy little fruit loaded with vitamin C. Great for immune health, sure. But sleep? That's not usually the first connection we make. But in multiple studies, people who ate kiwi before bed fell asleep faster and stayed asleep longer. Especially older adults. And the best part? No grogginess. No weird side effects. Just a simple, tasty fruit that signals the brain to rest. Here's what to try. Eat 1 or 2 fresh kiwis about 1 hour before bed. You can slice them up, blend them into a smoothie, or just eat them as is with a spoon. It's gentle, natural, and for many, surprisingly effective. And if you like routines, like Jim and Louise did, this small habit can turn into a powerful signal for your brain that it's time to wind down, relax, and let go of the day. Now, so far we've talked about fruits. But let's switch gears. Because next up is a tiny seed with huge sleep benefits. One that most people completely overlook. But it might just be what your body's missing. Let's talk about that next. Now imagine this. Your mom or dad wakes up less during the night. And all you changed was their evening snack. No pills. No complicated routines. Just a small bowl of seeds. Pumpkin seeds, to be exact. They might not sound magical, but don't underestimate them. These little green seeds are absolutely packed with magnesium, a mineral most of us don't get enough of, especially as we get older. And magnesium? It plays a crucial role in calming the nervous system. Think of it like a slow down signal for your brain and body. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body uses to produce serotonin, which then converts into melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. So not only do these seeds help you relax, they also help your body prepare for sleep. I once worked with a gentleman in his late 70s. He had trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. He didn't want more medication, and he wasn't sold on herbal teas. So we tried something simple. 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds about an hour before bed, with a small slice of banana. Within a week, he told me, I'm not waking up as much anymore. And when I do, I fall back asleep easier. Now, here's where people get it wrong. Some older adults avoid seeds because of dental concerns. They're worried they're too hard to chew. And that's valid. But you don't have to eat them raw and tough. You can find shelled, roasted pumpkin seeds that are much easier to chew. Or you can grind them up and mix them into yogurt or soft oatmeal. You get the same benefit, without the hassle. Try this. 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds, maybe with a small slice of banana, about an hour before bed. It's gentle, effective, and often overlooked. Speaking of bananas, let's talk about why they deserve a spot in your evening routine. Because they're doing more than just sweetening your smoothies. A caregiver once told me something interesting. Her father had been struggling with restless legs for months. Every night, the twitching would start. He'd toss and turn, unable to get comfortable. They tried creams, leg massages, even weighted blankets. But then, she started giving him half a banana before bed, sometimes with a small spoon of nut butter. Within days, the twitching eased, and he started sleeping through the night. Bananas might seem like a simple fruit, but they're incredibly powerful when it comes to muscle relaxation and sleep. They're high in potassium and magnesium, two minerals that help relax tense muscles and quiet the nervous system. They also contain vitamin B6, which helps your body convert tryptophan into melatonin, just like pumpkin seeds do. Now, I know what some folks think. Bananas have sugar. Isn't that bad at night? Here's the truth. The natural sugar in bananas is gentle, and it actually helps tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier, so your brain can use it to make melatonin. It's not about eating a whole fruit bowl. It's about giving your body the right nutrients at the right time. Try this. Half a banana before bed, paired with a spoon of almond butter or stirred into warm oatmeal. It's satisfying, easy to digest, and helps the body wind down naturally. Now, maybe you're not into sweet snacks. Maybe you like something savory before bed. Something warm, maybe even part of dinner. Well, you're in luck. Because the next food on our list is a classic comfort food that helps calm both the mind and the body. And it might already be on your dinner plate. You know, there's something comforting about a warm dinner at the end of the day. And for one widower I worked with, well into his 80s, that dinner became his secret to finally sleeping through the night. What changed? He started having salmon twice a week. That's it. No new medications, no fancy gadgets, just salmon. And the difference? Night and day. He told me, for the first time in years, I don't wake up at 2 a.m. just staring into the dark. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in two things that are vital for deep sleep: omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. Now, most people think fish is good for the heart, and it is. But what many don't realize is, those omega-3s also support brain health. They regulate serotonin, your feel-good chemical. And when serotonin levels are balanced, your body can naturally produce more melatonin at night. Vitamin D also helps regulate your circadian rhythm, your internal clock that tells your body when it's time to be awake and when it's time to wind down. Older adults often have low vitamin D, especially those who don't get much sun. So adding fatty fish to your diet doesn't just help your heart. It helps your brain relax, your mood stabilize, and your sleep deepen. Now, some folks tell me, I don't really like fish. But here's the thing. You don't have to eat it every day. Try this. Aim for 2 servings of salmon or another fatty fish each week. Pair it with sleep-supporting sides like steamed spinach or quinoa, and you've got yourself a powerful, natural sleep-supporting meal. Now, what about something you're sipping during the day? Or maybe something you've made a ritual out of at night? Because depending on what's in your mug, you could be either helping your sleep or unknowingly making it worse. Let's talk about herbal teas. Specifically, chamomile and valerian root. Tea time isn't just a lovely tradition. It's a cue. It signals your body. It's time to slow down. One senior I spoke with called her evening chamomile tea her off switch. She said the simple act of holding that warm cup, inhaling the gentle aroma, became her signal that the day was done. And science backs that up. Chamomile is known for its calming effects. It contains antioxidants that reduce anxiety and promote gentle sedation. Valerian root goes a step further. It increases GABA, a neurotransmitter that helps quiet the nervous system. It's like turning the volume down on mental chatter. But here's a common mistake. People assume all herbal teas are good for sleep, at any time. Not quite. Some blends have stimulants like ginseng or licorice, which can do the opposite. And drinking too much, too close to bedtime, can lead to, you guessed it, bathroom trips at 3 a.m. So here's the key. Try this. Drink a single cup of chamomile or valerian tea about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Keep it simple. Avoid mixing too many herbs unless guided by a professional. And be mindful of how much liquid you're having late in the evening. Now, for our final sleep superstar. Let's talk about something warm, humble, and often overlooked. A food you probably already have in your pantry. Oats. That's right, a small bowl of oatmeal in the evening can make a huge difference. I remember a daughter telling me that her mom, who'd been waking up almost every night around midnight, suddenly started sleeping straight through. The only change: they added a small bowl of oats to her evening snack. Here's why it works. Oats are a natural source of melatonin, and they also help stabilize blood sugar. For older adults, especially, those middle-of-the-night wake-ups can often be tied to a drop in blood sugar. And unlike sugary snacks, oats provide complex carbohydrates, which release energy slowly and help you stay asleep longer. There's a myth that eating carbs at night is bad. But complex carbs like oats, they actually support your body's sleep process. Try this. Half a cup of warm oats made with almond milk. Top it with a few pumpkin seeds or slices of banana. For the ultimate sleep-friendly combination. It's gentle, comforting, and works with your body, not against it. So now that you've got these foods in your toolbox, let's take a step back. Because knowing what to eat is one thing, but understanding why it matters, especially for the people we love most, that's where everything changes. You know, it's one of the hardest things to witness. Seeing your parent or your grandparent, someone who once tucked you in at night, now spending their own nights tossing and turning, pacing, sighing, staring into the quiet darkness. And maybe you've noticed the changes that follow. They seem more forgetful during the day, irritable, unsteady, not quite themselves. The truth is, sleep isn't just about rest. For older adults, sleep is the very thing that keeps their mind sharp, their mood steady, and their body strong enough to face another day. And when that sleep is broken, so is everything else. But here's the beautiful part. You are not helpless. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. And you definitely don't need to rely on sleeping pills that leave your loved one groggy and disconnected. Because sometimes, the most powerful changes are the simplest ones. A half banana with nut butter. A bowl of warm oats. A cup of herbal tea shared over a quiet conversation. A serving of salmon at dinner instead of something processed. These are not just foods. They're acts of love. They're gentle ways of saying, I see you, I care, and I want your nights to be peaceful. So here's what I want you to do. Don't get overwhelmed by the whole list. Just pick one. Try adding just one of these foods tonight. See how it feels. See how they sleep. Because sleep is the foundation of well-being. And you have the power to help rebuild it, one small bite at a time. And if you're caring for someone who once cared for you, this is a way to give something beautiful back. No pills. No pressure. Just small, nourishing choices rooted in love. And I want you to hear this clearly. It's not too late. Not too late to improve their sleep. Not too late to protect their memory. Not too late to bring a little more peace into their nights. And yours. This journey you're on, of caregiving, of support, of love. It's not easy. But you're not alone. And every small step matters. Even a spoonful of oats. Even a sip of tea. Can be the start of something healing. So hold on to that hope. Because it's real. And it's yours. So let's quickly recap. The 7 sleep-boosting foods that could make all the difference in your nights, or the nights of someone you love. Tart cherries, for natural melatonin and reduced inflammation. Kiwi, the little green fruit with surprising power over serotonin. Pumpkin seeds, a tiny snack rich in magnesium and calm. Bananas, nature's muscle relaxer, wrapped in a peel. Salmon, full of omega-3s and vitamin D to soothe the brain. Chamomile and valerian root teas, your evening off switch. And finally, oats, to stabilize blood sugar and keep the night smooth. 7 simple, wholesome foods. No prescriptions. No side effects. Just nature doing what it's always done best. Now I want to hear from you. Have you, or someone in your care, tried any of these foods for sleep? What's helped? What didn't make a difference? Or maybe you have your own family remedy that's been passed down. Share it in the comments below. Let's turn that space into a real conversation. A place where caregivers and families can support one another, learn from one another, and feel a little less alone on this journey. And hey, if this video gave you something new to try, if it made you feel more hopeful, more informed, or even just a bit more prepared, then please consider subscribing to Healthy Senior Advice. Every week, we bring you tips, insights, and gentle guidance to help you and your loved ones age with grace, wisdom, and health. Because you deserve that. And so do they. So go ahead, click subscribe. And if this video spoke to you, give it a like so others can find it too. But most importantly, take a moment tonight. Breathe. Share a cup of tea, slice a banana, warm a bowl of oats. Whatever you do, do it with intention. Do it with care. Because every small act adds up. Every meal is a chance to nourish not just the body, but the bond between you. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm truly honored to be part of your caregiving journey. May tonight bring peace. May tomorrow bring energy. And may every night ahead bring better sleep. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.